Welcome to the VA Live Lounge. It's Lisa and Kirsty here, and we're going to be with you every Friday, 10 a.m. UK time, to talk to you about all things VA or virtual assistants. We're just two virtual assistants rocking the business world, and we want to help other business owners and other VAs so that they can make the most success of their business. So if you love podcasts about business, if you're a VA or aspiring virtual assistant, a PA, a freelancer, or doing anything remotely, and you want tips and advice on how to get clients, just want to have a giggle, a glass of wine, a cup of coffee, and listen to people who have got no frills, no agenda, and they're just there to give you the best advice they can give and share their experiences with you, then this is the podcast for you. Good morning, Kirsty. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just in my son's bedroom. It's freezing cold. I really need a studio, don't I? But I need a studio. But unfortunately, this is where I am today. We just have to make the best of it, I suppose. I think we are on TikTok today as well, which is cool. If I can see us on there, that is.
We're live on Insta.
Yeah, wicked. And we should be live on YouTube as normal. And today we're talking about the skills that VAs should learn in 2026. So not that you can learn, what you should be learning. So today we are talking about what skills VAs should learn in 2026. If you are listening, then just drop us a comment and let us know where in the world you are. It'd be so interesting to find out where people are joining from. We're in the UK, but we're in different parts of the UK. I'm in a place called the Peak District. And Kirsty, where are you?
I'm in Torquay in Devon. So we're literally...
totally opposite. So, yeah, I'm in the countryside, Kirsty's by the seaside. So totally couldn't get any more different. So talk about the skills you can learn. I think this is such a relevant topic because where we are right now with technology, it's kind of overtaking people, and if you don't get into bed with it, you're going to get cheated on. If that's the right analogy. And it's so funny because if I think about my own experiences, when I first started as a virtual assistant, I would probably have classed myself as just a generalist. I could do loads of amazing admin, but I wasn't a tech VA, and I certainly wasn't a marketing VA. And as time went on, I was able to develop those skills and became... Bear with me. I forgot that the ring doorbell's in my son's bedroom.
There's somebody at the door.
This is real life, guys. So we don't try and make this like all beautiful enough because it's not.
Nah, we tried, but then we just went nah.
No, we can't be bothered. We haven't got the time for that. It's good because they're virtual assistants. So so over time I developed those skills and beyond. So now I can charge more, and that's the benefit of being able to expand your skills, is that you can command a higher fee. What about you, Kirsty? Do you think, I mean, for me, I look at you and you've developed your marketing skills.
I'm exactly the same as you. And I think most VAs, when they start out, do have that generalization of admin, inbox management, that kind of thing. But the stuff I've learned over the last 5 years is like amazing. I would probably, as a percentage rate, would probably say 80% of what I do now, I couldn't do when I first started out as a VA. And that's all come from being an associate with your agency, because you've taught me so much that I don't think, if I didn't have that knowledge or that skill set now, I don't know if I'd still be doing this without that.
Really?
Honestly.
That's interesting.
Yeah, genuinely. Because I think there are still people out there that are looking for VAs that want to look their admin looked after and all that kind of thing. But I think you do have to have a more varied skill set to be able to to be able to stand out.
Yeah, I agree. I think now more than ever, because as we've been repeatedly talking about, clients want outcomes and results now more than just delegate to you and you get on with it. So we have to I think it's a wonderful opportunity for virtual assistants right now, because being able to offer things like outcomes, results, VIP days, and really expand on that just means that you can start to diversify your packages. You can wrap them up into one-off days, you can charge more. So it is an opportunity, and that's how it should be seen. Gemma assists VAs in Suffolk, and Moonbeam Virtual is in Limerick, Ireland. My granddad was from Limerick, so that's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing that with us, guys. So I think one of the things I want to talk about first is AI and automation tools, because automation was something like everybody should have been doing a couple of years ago, and AI is like, it's, you know, they're intertwined, and now you need to be doing both. And we have talked a lot about going away for a week or a weekend and getting really, really good at something AI powered, like ChatGPT prompting, agent AI building, and really learning a skill like AI video editing, learning it, like honing your craft in an AI tool and completely niching into it, which might seem really scary, but people need that. And I think there's been a real fear that AI can replace us as VAs. And whilst it has replaced lots of the things that took time before, like blog writing and things like that, it won't replace us, because clients are still in the same position that they're time poor and they know how this stuff works, but they don't have the time to utilize it properly. So if we can step in and say, hey, we can do this for you, it can be an absolute game changer for VAs. I mean, me personally, I think, yes, go away, get really, really, really good at something AI powered and start turning that into your niche. Start talking about, I can save you time each week with XYZ. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think, you know, even with, I mean, I pay for my ChatGPT now, because the stuff that I do now for clients, I couldn't do it as well as I do without ChatGPT. I was using the free one before, and although it was helpful, it's very restrictive. And I think as we evolving with AI, people are going to want people out there who are experts in AI. It's all very well saying, I can use ChatGPT, but can you use AI to the absolute, you know, its full extremity to really be able to make a difference to one of your clients?
Yes, absolutely. And using it in the right way as well. So we have an AI usage policy, because obviously it's a long language machine, it's learning, so it's not putting in data that's, you know, sensitive. But I definitely think automation and AI are tools that VA should 100% have under their tool belt. Now, I like automate like crazy. I don't just do that. Like, there's other things I do. So I offer in-person experiences. So there's a life coach that I know, we're doing a business reset day this year, and because I've got a CRM system that I offer to VAs, and this woman I'm doing it with happens to also have a subscription to it. Last night I just like knocked up a landing page, took me no time at all, right? Locked up the landing page, got it ready, did the thank you page, so it's like a funnel, did a waiting list form, and then because it's in the same system, I just duplicated it this morning to hers, so she can share it from her website, I can share it from my website. But you've got to have some sort of tech knowledge to do that. And I think if you can do things like that, you know, like you can now, you couldn't to begin with, could you? Right. But now you're quite competent, you know, probably not a tech VA, but you're competent at going in and doing automations and workflows. And that means that, so for example, in our agency, if you come on board and you are a Simply Admin VA, which Kirsty was, then you get paid £15 an hour. But if you can do tech or marketing, then you get paid £25 an hour. So Kirsty has been able to increase her hourly rate by £10 an hour just by expanding on your skills. And that's from an associate perspective. So imagine what you can do as an actual solo VA business owner.
Yeah. I mean, I can remember the very first time we did an automation together, and I was terrified. I was so frightened, because I was like, what if I click something and it deletes the whole thing? And you were like, just press the button. And I can remember just going, oh, I don't want it. And then I did it, and you were like, you've done it now. And I'm like, oh. And then I went away and I did it for a client all on my own, and I tested it. I test everything to the absolute max, right? Because early on I was so frightened of doing stuff, because even doing an article on LinkedIn, didn't know how to do that until you started giving that to me to do. And now I just do stuff like that with my eyes closed. Like I just do it, you know, and it's sort of like, and it is frightening to learn new things. It is scary to have somebody else's website or somebody else's automation in your hands. But if you don't learn, you're never going to be able to progress, I don't think.
No, and you could have done it like I did and just cocked up a client's automation completely, because I had no idea what I was doing, so I just practiced on client accounts. I wouldn't advise you do that, by the way. But I started in Active Campaign, and it is really good system. But
our system's better.
Oh, God, yeah.
But yeah, I did make loads of mistakes. I think you have to. I think the best thing you can do is get hold of your system, come get ours, and practice on it, and then you can let yourself loose on the world.
Yeah.
The other thing is CRM systems. Do you know, do not take for granted that a client even knows what a CRM system is, let alone has one. It is madness to me. I fully believe, truly, that in the 101 business basics, the things that you have to set up in the early days, so your business plan, your cash flow forecast, your business bank account, it should also be your CRM system. Look, every business should have one, no matter who you are. Every VA should have one, because otherwise you're tracking leads, outreach, clients, onboarding, all of this stuff is happening on what, a spreadsheet on your emails. It's ridiculous, and you can't scale that way. So if you can get really, really good at your CRM system, CRM systems, then honestly, you can start talking about this. I deliver speaking events at networking events where I talk about the importance of CRM automation, and I'm standing there thinking they're all going to know this, and their minds are literally blown because they have no idea. So I show them how a CRM works and then how you can automate, and they're going, wow. I've bought clients time and time again by showing them how to do that.
Yeah, because people don't. This is gonna everybody knows I'm non-technical. There are certain things I would never even dream of doing. I've tried to build websites and everything, and it's a complete shambles, right? But I've just been trying to thought now. What was I going to say?
It's perimenopause is kicking in.
I know. I swear, honestly, I'm going mad. But if you don't have a go, then you're never going to know, is what they say, isn't it? That's the phrase, isn't it? If you don't have a go, you're never going to know. And it's quite funny actually, because I'm just training some other people on our CRM that I use for one of my external clients. And I was showing her yesterday, and she was like,
"Yeah,
I can't believe it." She was like, "Oh, well, how did you do all that?" And I'm like, "Well, it was actually adding in, when you put in like on an email campaign, and you have to put in the image and then 2 boxes. I didn't know that until 3 weeks ago when you told me. And then I'm training somebody else. She's going, "Oh my God, I've been doing this for hours and I can't do it." And I'm like, did it in like a minute. She was like,
yeah.
People don't know what a CRM can really do. This go, "Oh yeah, it's just for my contacts and mails to use Excel spreadsheet." But it's not. This CRM is everything.
Everything. And you know what's new on it? I know we're going off tangent, because I also use it for a co-working business that I own. You can do digital gift cards on it now, and I'm so.
Oh no, you so that is amazing.
You can buy gift cards. Anyway, if you want to know what it is, go to morethanava.org memberships and look for Growth Essentials or VRP Access. Either one of those memberships, you get the whole system, and it's been customized for virtual assistants. So yeah, I think getting really good at that, and then going out there and networking. I ran a poll on my Instagram backstage. By the way, if you're tuned in on Instagram, head to my link in the bio and see the backstage. Go to More Than a VA backstage, and I share daily private things in there to help you in your VA business. So I would say, I forgot to say now because somebody's left a comment. So let me just read the comment. It amazes me.
What's going on? We're going mad today.
It amazes me every time I show a small automation, even in a client's inbox, and they're blown away. Something that's so obvious to me is game changing for others who just don't know. 100%. And you know what? I had a revelation. I was at a business boot camp 2 years ago, and there was this guy from Zoho, a representative from Zoho. So there were some really amazing guest speakers. And then there was this guy from Zoho who really thought he was the dog's bollocks, right? And I felt for him in the end. So he got up to do his guest speaker spot. But really, he's just there to sell Zoho CRM and all this. So he starts talking about the system and lead magnets and email campaigns and all of this. And it's so amazing. And then it was question time. And when the question come to him, well, what is a lead magnet and how do you get them through the system? How do you get them to start? He just turned into a pool of sweat because he had no idea. And I was cringing in my seat because I had answers for all of these questions and he didn't know the answer. He just knew how to sell the software. So afterwards, I got amongst this group of people. But what happened to me was like, I was shocked. I was standing there thinking, you don't know what a lead magnet is. Like, you don't know how a funnel works. And it was the first time I really understood that what you know doesn't mean everyone else knows.
Yeah.
And all you have to be is just a couple of steps ahead from someone else, like a client, to make you an expert to them. And that's all you need to be. You don't need to actually be an expert. You just need to be a few steps ahead, and it will make you that so valuable. So the perceived value of you becomes huge. So in your case, Kirsty, you know a couple of more things than your client, which makes you invaluable to that client.
Yeah.
So I talked to them about lead magnets. And after that, I started running in-person workshops, teaching people how to build lead magnet funnels, how to build digital courses. And people came and they just did not know how this stuff works. I mean, literally, I was at a business event a few weeks ago, again, talking about lead magnets and CRM, and there was a woman in the room. She's paid £500 to be there to learn about strategy. She's never heard of them before. So don't underestimate that everything you know, another client or somebody else doesn't know. And you have to make them aware of what you can do. And so if you're really good, like Moonbeam, really good at automation and CRMs, really start talking about that. Think about the industry. You might already have a niche industry that needs that kind of support, and start going after them is what I would say. Because honestly, it is game changing. I know I'm talking a lot here, but I went to a staging event, home staging event last week, because some of them are our clients and we were sponsoring it. No brainer. We sponsored it because there were only going to be home stages in the room, no virtual assistants, and they were going to talk us up to everyone. I came away from that. I talked about systems and processes. I wanted to make it clear. I came away from that having conversations with people, look, blown away that they didn't know they could systemize their business. One of the women was writing down all her leads on pieces of paper. So she's in the process now. She's signed up to our CRM. She's in the process of sending me pictures so I can put them all in for her. And loads of people are doing this. Loads.
It's madness, isn't it? Because I think as well, again, if you don't tell your clients what you can do, then they're never going to know. And I know people find it hard, don't they, to say, well, I can do this, 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 and this. Because I had a call with a new client yesterday, and she was just chatting to me about the tasks and things like that. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so what about, have you got an email address that I can use? She was like, yeah, but it's set up on something else. And I'm like, well, why don't you just do like a Gmail account, because it's free. You don't have to. And she was like, oh, yeah, I never thought of that. And that's not anything technical. That's just because I know it's easy to set it up and it's not going to cost an arm and a leg to kind of do. But if you don't speak to your clients, potential clients, about what you can do and give them ideas, they're never going to know.
No, they're never going to know. And one of the best things you can do to get people in the door, to get a foot in the door, is sell one-off services that will give them a very quick win. So it might be a funnel setup, it might be a CRM migration, and you sell it as a one-off service. Then you don't need to keep using me, because that's part of the problem. Oh, I don't want to do a monthly thing. I haven't got the money. You sell that to them. But once they're in and you've done it and they realize the power of it, and that they can't upkeep it because they still haven't suddenly, grown technical wings overnight, then you can then sell your other services. So it's a really good springboard to get people into your regular services as well. So it's another good way of doing it.
Yeah, but also that client, if even if they don't use your services, your other services going forward, they will tell. Typically, one person tells 10 people about a service, good, bad, or ugly. They will then go away and tell 10 people, oh, this person built this for me in one day, it costs whatever it costs, and that's a referral. Yeah
100%. Anybody listening, are you already doing this, or is this not something that you feel confident doing, or are you are you trying to think about other ways that you can sell your services? Like, where are you in your journey? Share that with us so that we can try and help you out a little bit. And is it something you're not confident doing, or are you doing it already and you're struggling to get people to understand what you do? Just drop us a comment and let us know where you're at with all of this. The other thing you can get really good at is advanced content creation. So everybody, knows what content creation is, and it's like, yeah, okay, whatever. But if you can do more with things like short form video editing, so Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, so many people, even me, we have these episodes going out every week. automatically on Instagram, on YouTube, and I never have the time to go in there onto YouTube afterwards and just update the description and things like that. But what we do, what Kirsty does for me, is we take these lives into an AI app called Opus, and then you just literally put it in and it edits them into smaller clips. Kirsty just checks to make sure they're all okay and then saves them to a folder. And then we can use them and repurpose them in our stories, on our live, not our lives, on our reels, to just give people an instant glimpse into the episodes. So if you can get really good at that kind of thing, like video editing, short form video editing, and so you can show people the value of how you can turn one reel into 30 content pieces, that's another really valuable thing that you can do. And you do that by just showing them. Like you could do a one-off, you could do let me do a one-off video editing, for you for free. And then after that, they might see that and go, oh my God, I need you to do that for me every week or every month. And then you could have them on like a retainer to do that. And as I've just said, it's so easy. Like literally, you go into Opus. If you've never done it, do it. You put the video in, it does it for you. You don't have to really do anything. So you're getting paid for doing very little. And you might think, yeah, but the clients will know that. No, they won't. And they won't
got time to look at that. They won't go, how long will it take someone to do this? They haven't got time to do that.
Exactly. And it's repurposing content across platforms and saying, did you know that we could turn that blog post that you wrote into an article? Yeah. Did you know that we could put that into Substack? Did you know that we could turn that blog into a carousel? They might know this, but they go, I'm so time poor. What if you came along and you did all of that? So thinking about on-screen text, captions, how many videos I've seen and they're not using captions, and you really need to be using captions because most people are doom scrolling when they're on the train or they're in a public area and they don't want the sound on.
Exactly. Yeah, we all do it, don't we? I mean, my partner's terrible for it. He'll just play a video, doesn't care where he is. But I don't. I always have my volume on mute. So if you see a video and you haven't got any captions, and if you're on a train or like in your living room and someone's watching telly, you're not going to know what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think captions are like underrated because we're living in an age now where accessibility requirements are really important. So even alt text is needed on like your posts now. So your Instagram post, your LinkedIn post, you should be using alt text. Your website should be accessible friendly. So really making sure you've got text on your captions. All you've got to do is scroll the feed of your ideal client. If you notice they're not doing it, then you will be saying to them, did you know I could do that for you? Yeah. So thinking about things like that as well. And then thinking about things like analytics. So data is so important. I don't know how many of you do this. And by the way, we've got a few new people that have joined. Thank you for joining. If you are just tuning in, we've been talking about the skills that VAs need to learn in 2026. But this will go back into the grid and you can watch it again later. It's always on YouTube as well. And it gets repurposed as a podcast next week at 10. But let us know where you're joining from. So data. Every week, or throughout the week on various days in my schedule, I check my weekly ads. So I do run Facebook ads and boosted posts. So I'll check how they're doing. I track how many downloads I'm getting on my lead magnets. And then every month I do an overall ad check. So I see what ads perform well, what boosted posts perform well. Are they worth boosting again? I check my Google Analytics and then I optimize it if I need to. And I track all of this on a spreadsheet and I check my email open rates. I clean my list. So I make sure bounced people, unsubscribed people without email addresses are removed, because if you don't keep a clean list, then you can become blacklisted if you're sending emails and they're just constantly bouncing or going into spam. So people don't understand how important data is and the metrics are, because if you don't have this information in front of you, how do you know how else to structure your business? So for example, Google Ads, if I'm not tracking what's the most popular page on my website or the bounce rate of one of the pages, so why are people leaving that page more than others, how can I rectify that? How can I in real time go back in and think, okay, there's something wrong with the customer journey on that page. If I'm not tracking Facebook ads, how can I be sure? Like, for example, lead magnets. I'm now, this year, my strategy is 3 different lead magnets a month, and whichever one performs best, I'll double down on. Now, the only way I can know which one performs best if I track the downloads. Now, be honest, guys, how many of you are actually doing this in your own business? Kirsty's already given me an answer with the roll of her eyes.
Do you know what, though? I do it for one of my other clients, because the thing is, we can all, if I use social media, you know, posting, for example, you can put as many posts up as you like, right? But if you're not looking to see what's having the most effect, what's got the most impressions, you may as well not bother. Because if you just you can just chuck anything out. You know, we say, don't we, throw enough shit, something's going to stick.
Yeah.
If you look at what's sticking, you're never going to know whether to progress down that route still.
Yeah. Even the podcast that we do, the VA Live Lounge podcast, it's seeing what's the most popular episode. If there's an episode that's really resonating with people, we're going to push that in short form content even more, because we really want subscribers. So, by the way, if you are listening, please go find us on your regular streaming channel and subscribe. We're trying to get our VA little podcast to the top of the industry charts, and you guys could help us. How amazing would that be to have a VA podcast, you know, right up there? So we don't get any money from this, and we sit here and do this every week for free to help you all. So please just do a little, you know, do a little more payback for us. That'd be great.
If we do get to the top, let's treat ourselves, Lise, to a little night out, just me and you.
Oh yeah, what, we're going to come together in the middle of
come together in the middle.
So yeah, I mean, thinking about that, so digital marketing basics, could you help people with strategy, analytics, email marketing? Could you talk to them about segmenting and tracking email open rates? SEO fundamentals, if you're good at SEO, could you do some audits on people's websites to check for keywords, content optimization? You can use ChatGPT and go into WebPilot, scan someone's website. It will tell you, it will do a report on what's missing on that website. And more importantly, you can ask to compare it against a competitor. And you could literally be able to say to clients, did you know I could compare you against your competitor and tell you what you need to do to make sure that you're performing as well as they are, or that you're not missing keywords they've got. And you're using AI to do that.
The other thing we used to do as well, didn't we? We used to do like an app audit. So we're all guilty of having apps on our phones and apps on desktops and things like that we probably don't use. Or what do we use it for? Do we really need to use it? Is there one, or, you know, an app that does all and everything? So that's something else that you could offer, doing an app audit on somebody. Yeah,
an app audit is really good, because do you know how many people are spending money and they can't remember what they're spending it all on? In fact, we had a client once, right? She was with us for 5 months. I kid you not.
Oh, no.
She had signed up on her credit card, was not using any of the time, despite Kirsty every single week, month getting in touch. She was like, she had a brainwave at the end of 5 months and went, oh, I didn't realise I've been paying you for 5 months. Can I have the money back?
I know.
You know what the answer was to that question, don't you?
Was it no? This is the thing, though, isn't it, right? I mean, I'm not saying you've got to delve into your clients' bank accounts or anything like that, but I check my bank, not my business bank, because there's no money in there at the moment. It's there. I'm just waiting to put something in there, right? But I check my bank every day. People don't. People genuinely don't go, whether they have to, don't need to, whatever. But if that person had looked at their bank account the month after, or their credit card statement or whatever, they'd have gone, oh, not actually using that or whatever. And they would have saved all of that money.
Yeah. Do you know, so our app audit is like, let's say it's like a matrix style. So we have got it in your, I think you've got it in your resource area. So the free VA resources, if you're not signed up as a free member, you can get access to loads of freebies. Down one side, it will say like all the kind of things that tool might cover. So it might be productivity, CRM, marketing, and along the top. And then what you do is you think about the tools you've got, and you'll list them out. Sorry, on that side top, it will have what they all are for. Then you'll put the tools down, and then you do a little colour as you go across of what it covers. And what it shows you is you're probably using 3 tools to do one job. Yeah. And it's saying to yourself, actually, I don't need that. So even if you don't need to go to a client's bank account to do that. You can just do an audit of the systems they're using, the tools they're using, and saying, did you know that we could amalgamate that into one? Because they might not know that a lot of people are just piecemealing things together because they know 50% of what this tool does and 50% of that one. And a good way to look at this one is, for example, I work with a digital marketing agency that has about 6 employees now. They did have 13 when I first came on board. And those kind of companies are really spending money on all this kind of thing and have no idea. So if you can approach those kind of companies to do an audit of all the money they're spending, you could help them save money. Then that is another thing that, you know, could definitely get your foot in the door. And then after that, you say, you know, look, maybe you need an office manager to keep an eye on this stuff going forward.
Yeah. It's quite interesting, actually, because I had a call with one of my other clients yesterday, and she's so lovely to work with. And she gave me like this big long list of things that she's doing that she doesn't necessarily want to do. And she was like, she sent me the list. She was like, I don't know if you can do any of this, but I just thought I'd brain dump on you. So we had this call yesterday and we kind of went through each and every one. And I'm like, yeah, that's something like we can do. But I gave her ideas and things about what I've implemented within LTVA services. And she was like, that's amazing. Because she said, I didn't realise you could do things like that. And funnily enough, this week, going completely off chart, one of my clients said to me, I've got an apartment that I need to sell, haven't got time to speak to estate agents, haven't got time to do this, that and the other. Could you do it for me? I was like, oh, this is amazing. It was so exciting.
Are you enjoying the VA Live Lounge? If you are, please, please, please subscribe. Wouldn't it be amazing to get a podcast for virtual assistants at the top of our industry charts? Please subscribe and keep following and share this with any virtual assistant that you know. And let's build the most awesome community and give the most awesome support that we can.
And so he didn't really, is that something you can do? But he didn't realise that that's something I could do, because I don't know whether it's because I haven't told him about it or what, but clients won't know what you can do unless you tell them. So if you've got something like that, if you can do like an app audit on a company, you're in the door, then you can just say, oh, I noticed that you've got this in place, but it could actually work better this way. I can implement that for you, or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. And it's making them understand that a VA is also a PA. It's the same thing, just remote. And so when I do networking, I often say we are remote personal assistants. It's just the easiest way to explain. People automatically get it with a PA. You can ask PAs to do more or less anything. So if you kind of just change the terminology, people will get it more. And another thing you can do is keep up with trending technology. So trending tools that are coming out, and being really good at the person that's talking about that. So it might be a little bit more difficult to niche into, depending on what your niche already is as a VA. But I'll give you an example. There's a woman I follow. She's local to me, but she's got about 50,000 people on Instagram now. She runs a membership. She earns about 30 grand a month. And the reason is all she does day in, day out is talk about Instagram, what you can do on Instagram. She just gives loads of value away. Almost don't know how she sells anything because she gives that much away. But she's the person who's saying, there's this new update, this new thing that's happening, this is what you've got to do. And so she's telling you, so you don't have to keep up to date yourself. So if you can do that, if you can say, this is the new thing to watch out for, or have one particular tool that you know everybody loves, or a system, or something, and this is the new thing that it can do. It might be TikTok, it might be Instagram, it could be, you know, a CRM system, and you talk about this new update, or did you know this new AI drop? This is what it's going to do for your life. That's another thing that you could really start thinking about doing as well.
Yeah, there is so much. There is so many, isn't there? And I often think when I look at different CRM systems that they are very much similar to another one. You know, if you can get confident in one and kind of be an expert in one, you can generally pick up other ones as well. So if a business has already got a CRM system implemented, is more than likely you've either used something very similar or the same one for another client. So you can just move your experience around.
Yeah. I think, I know we keep talking about CRMs, and I think the reason for that is just because it kind of forms the basis of a lot of things that you can do. And lead magnets, you know, as VAs, make sure you're utilising lead magnets yourself, not just setting them up for clients, so that you can build your mailing list. Because once you've got people in your mailing list, that mailing list belongs to you. You know, it's not like Facebook can suddenly shut you down and ban you for a few days. That's yours. And it's where you can really start telling people what you can do and what your skill set is. So yeah, tech adaptability, be the go-to for what's trending. That's a really good thing that you can get into as well. So we've talked so far about AI, automation, CRMs, digital marketing on an advanced level, advanced content creation, data, tech adaptability, and then personal branding and community building. So I have been banging on about this since the beginning of the year, that personal branding is massive. And if you didn't attend my Nail Your Niche webinar a few weeks ago or last week, then you missed something. And you missed the masterclass if you didn't attend that, which was a guest masterclass that our VIP members get, but you can pay to join. And that was all about your personal brand. Personal brand is so big right now because we're in a trustless age where people don't know what's real anymore, that there's so much fakeness out there, so much AI, that they really want to get to know you. So I am advising VAs right now that if you are a solo VA with no intention of turning yourself into an agency, make sure you include your name in your bios. If you are a VA that's going to be an agency, it's fine to have just a business name, but people want to know you. They want to see you in front of the camera. Who are you? What do you stand for? What's important to you? What's your story? I put a post on, I've had LinkedIn's been notoriously crap for everybody's talking about how rubbish the algorithm is on LinkedIn. I barely get views nowadays, whereas where most of our core business came from at one point. Yeah. And I put a post out about my journey and got over 8,000 views, 39 comments, I think 3 shares. It just blew up. And that's because I talked about me and what I stand for and where I've come from. And people want to know that. And people go, oh, no, it's all business on LinkedIn. No, it's not. It's probably overtaken places like Instagram. People want to know about this stuff. So if you can help a client build a presence on LinkedIn and Instagram through personal brand, and you can say, look, did you know that personal brand is so massive this year? Let's optimize your bios. Let's build that personal brand on socials. That's another thing you can do. And then also helping clients with that message and saying, you know, I see you've got a community, you've got an online community or a Facebook community. Are you struggling to engage them? Just to give you an example, I Am More Than a VA Facebook page, I was the only one managing, and it was just not getting any traction at all because Facebook's got this algorithm. I think it's run by Andromeda. And if you aren't in it all the time, it just is gone. It's dead. It's almost like you have to start again. So I got Kirsty to become the community manager, just literally in there every day with a post, chatting, and it started to reignite. So it shows how important it is. So if you can show clients that you could help them with their online communities and groups as well, or even as a producer on their webinars, so supporting on webinars and live shows and workshops, you know, putting people in rooms, making sure they've got that support. Sometimes I'll run a masterclass or a webinar. I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do if this happens? And I won't be able to read the questions. So those are other things that you can do as a VA as well, if you've never thought about that.
I think as well, you know, and I am again, you know, my own worst enemy because I don't do this, but I think it's about being consistent as well. For example, the Facebook community, if we hadn't been consistent, it would have been dead in the water, right? Between both of us.
Yeah.
But if you've got a good LinkedIn page, you're constantly posting on there, not constantly posting, but you're regularly posting on there, whether about a personal thing or whatever. You know, your Instagram's up to date and appealing to that person who's, because we do just go click, let's have a look at their profile. Think how many times you get a thing from LinkedIn say, you've appeared in 37 searches this week or whatever. So people do generally click.
Nosy bastards.
No, I get them all the time. And I'm like, and then I get these like weird requests come through and I'm like, I don't know what it is.
Carry on.
So if you've got all your socials that are really appealing to the eye, as soon as somebody clicks on your Instagram and they can see that you're posting good pictures and you're posting regular updates and that kind of thing, as long as you're consistent, that potential client will then go, actually, my Instagram looks a bit shit. This person's one's really good. Maybe I can get them to do that. And while we're at it, I always say it's a 3. So I always say, get your Facebook sorted, get your Instagram sorted, get your LinkedIn sorted, because then 3 steps will then lead that person to your website where all your services are listed. So if you've got all of those 3 in place, that will be appealing to a potential client.
Yeah, if you need to be on those platforms, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, our most popular, all-time popular download of our lead magnets is our LinkedIn profile booster. It's had the most downloads. I don't even push it anymore. I'm just gonna have a look. I don't even push it anymore. Like, I don't even know if people find it now because I don't advertise it anywhere now, and yet it still gets downloaded all the time. I've got it in a couple of I've got it on for the More Than a VA community and for LT Business Management as well. I'm just looking to see. So I've got 35 downloads on that one, on LT Business Management. And that's like not pushing it really. It's just kind of in the digital world now somewhere. I can't find it on the other one. And it's on the lead magnets. Here we go.
That'll be people referring them.
Another 26 on the More Than a VA. So what's that, like 60 odd downloads? Right, that's 60 new people in my audience that I can then, through a nurture email campaign, be selling to them and saying, you know, because the guide talks about how you update your profile and everything, but they might not have the time. So then the nurture email sequence is to then sell them our service to go and do that for them. So that's how powerful it is if you can do that for yourself as well, guys. It really is. And if you can show your clients how you can do that for how you can do that to help them build their presence too. So another really good skill, I think the last one we're going to talk about today, is still the basics. So communication. Helping clients with communication, utilising the best tools for communication. I've got a client that's about to come on board. I'm going to tell you now, guys, right? I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to. When you sell your services and you get to a level where you feel really confident and you know your worth, you can make serious money. This client's about to come on board for over $6,000. Okay, for 3 months work. And that's because of doing all of this stuff to optimize their profiles, their website, their marketing, and they're a marketing expert. So don't ever think, oh, that person isn't going to need me because they know what they're doing. But one of the things they teach and they make a lot of money from is communication. So they teach communication on Zoom, on Teams, how you can show up on camera. These are kind of skills we think that people don't know about, but they need. Yeah. And then time management and prioritization. You know, I saw a post this morning in a VA community group with somebody asking, how do you organize your calendar? Other people are going to be asking that question too. So talk about how you can help someone with time management and prioritization, especially people that are neurodivergent who really do need that kind of support. And then problem solving and proactive thinking. You might even be able to offer a consultation on how you can problem solve the area someone's struggling with. It could be admin or marketing, and how you can just guide them in a proactive way to the next steps. So these are other services that you can, other skills you can think about, upskilling yourself with this year as well.
It's quite funny because one of my clients the other day said to me, she's got this whole new process set out on the back of what you've been supporting her with. And one of the things she's asked me to add to my weekly task list is hold me to account. So she wants me to say to her, have you done this thing you sent me? Did you do that? Why, if you've done it, well done. If not, why haven't you done it? And that a lot of people I feel at the moment are asking to be held to account of things that they're wanting to get done, or wanting to implement. So that's something else you could say, I can hold you to accountability for that.
Yeah, well, we've just started adding, we do a Friday email that goes out to our clients every week, and there's a new accountability section in there to remind them to use their time well, to make sure they're booking in a review for their VAs, to make sure that they are, utilising their time effectively, because one of the things we've just ended is rolled over time. We're not doing it anymore. It's okay. It's real life, guys. We're going to have doorbells ringing and dogs barking. That's just the way it goes. Has anyone got any questions for us before we finish for the day? Because I am off for the 4th networking event of the week. Can I get client connections? What do you mean by that, Jackie? Let us know. So, yeah, I've been networking like a demon all week.
Sorry, that's the puppy. It's not a puppy.
It's so important, and so many VAs are still not doing this. And like literally, the other thing I do now is I don't just take business cards. I print off a load of leaflets. I am cheeky as F, and I'll just walk in and go to the host. Do you mind if I pop some leaflets on the tables and hand out leaflets that can tell people loads more than a business card can about what I can do in an instant way. And that's my thing now. Forget business cards. I'm taking leaflets everywhere with me.
Imagine how many times have you been to a networking event, right? And you send me a business card and I say, who's this person? What do they do? And you go, I don't know. They just gave me a business card with a leaflet. It's got it all there. They can just read it as they're going around.
That's it. I was just in the middle of printing 100 of them off before I came up here because I have the business reset day we're going to do. So I'll just check if there's any questions. But just remember, We're always here to support in any way we can. So the morethanava.org website's got loads on there. Loads. I mean, we'd need to push it more really. But it's got the free resources, the VA Vault, where you can access loads of templates, downloads, mini tutorials, things like that. I'm always adding new things in. I can't remember what the last new thing I added in now was. Quick wins. Things you can do now. That's what it was. Quick wins that you can do right now to make a change. We do a weekly quick win live Thursdays 12:45 till 1 in the Facebook group. So I had to do that from the car yesterday and it didn't go on there, so I had to republish it from YouTube. So apologies if you did tune in, but it's on there now, the video, and it's all about PR, so developing a PR campaign for your VA business. And then we do this live as well every week, so you can come along and ask questions and get support. On TikTok I just post videos as often as I can with value and advice, so make sure you're checking that, and go on the VA Backstage on Instagram as well. And if you are looking for the perfect tool to build your business, we've got two options. We've got the Growth Essentials, which gives you the full CRM system, bonus courses, built out funnels, a website template, loads of extras. You can get that, or VIP Access also gives you additional tech videos that adds more workflows and automation to your system that you can just follow step by step, and monthly guest masterclasses designed to help you build your business. They are all on morethanava.org. And coaching, so we do one-to-one coaching, and we also have group coaching. So you have missed the Getting Started as a VA group coaching for February. That's already started, 6-week program. It comes back in October. And we have the From Solo VA to Agency, which is starting in July, I think it is, might be June, I can't remember. But if you go to morethanava.org and then to just navigate your way through, you'll see the upcoming programs and you can get on that as well. So I don't think we've got any more questions. Jackie did say, can I get client connections? I'm not sure if you're asking, do you mean from us? If so, then obviously not, because I can't just connect you to clients because we need them to. But if you do want help in how to find clients and things like that, as I've just said, join all the resources, because I'm always teaching people things like how to get clients. I run masterclasses on it. So just make sure you're following everywhere. And then we'll be back next week, same time, 10 a.m. And we're going to be talking about, is there room for everyone? So finding your place in the VA world. Come back and tune in. But we are looking for podcast guests, aren't we, Kirsty?
Yes, we'd love to have somebody on, a VA that's either just starting out or wants to come on and ask us anything and everything. We can do things online. We can show you how to do things. There's a completely safe space. So there's no, if you think you'd have a silly question, you don't. Because I ask Lisa silly shit all the day long. She's like, no. So please, if you want to come on, or we do have a form, don't we, fill in to be a podcast guest?
Yeah, morethanava.org/podcast, and you can fill in the form, come along, talk about your experiences. We haven't had a guest for a while. We really need one.
Definitely.
But thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It's been fun.
You've been listening to the VA Live Lounge with Lisa and Kirsty. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this episode, then please follow us and subscribe. We'll be back again next Friday at 10 a.m. UK time. For more information about our community space, our free resources, about us, and where to watch live, take a look at the show notes below. Can't wait to see you next time.